should the Rockets trade, Harden or Westbrook?
Well, Molly, it's time to blow the whole damn thing up. Listen, Russell Westbrook is already gone, okay? He's not coming back. Once he requested a trade, I know Russell Westbrook, he's done, okay? And if you're James Harden, you cannot stay there and wait to see what you're going to get back in return, because it's not going to be someone that's going to put you in a title contention, or someone that's going to that they're going to get equal value that bring in back for Russell Westbrook that's going to help you win the championship. So it's time to blow the whole thing up. Look, both of these guys are at the point of their career where they have accomplished everything individually for all their accolades. They got the MVPs, the scoring titles. The only thing left for those guys to do is to win a title. And once you trade Russell Westbrook, you're not going to get back anything. So James Harden is not going to sit around and be waiting on a rebuilding stage or a rebuilding process. So if I'm James Harden, once Russell Westbrook is traded, I'm walking in the door and talking to the owner and the GM and the coach and say, hey, my time is up. It's time for me to go. I need a new destination. It's time for me to go somewhere where I could compete and win the title. So I say they need to trade both of them. They have to. It's time to blow it up.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clear. And yet I would say, if I'm the Rockets at least, I know Harden may be unhappy, whatever, but if I have him under contract, I'm going to say what Dr. Buss told Kobe Bryant once upon a time. I got a 5-carat diamond. I'm not trading it for 5 1-carat diamonds, James. I'm sorry. You're going to have to bear with me. Like, you're under contract. I'm not just going to unload you because you want to be unloaded. We have to get equal value for you, and that is going to be very difficult because there aren't that many players on your level. So, and once you move Westbrook, by the way, you don't know. You're right, Perk, you're not going to get a Westbrook-level player back. But Harden has shown he doesn't necessarily need that to build a team around him that can be very competitive. And once you clear that salary off your books, you have a lot more flexibility to maneuver. A clever GM might figure out a way to put a team there that Harden likes. Now, I'm not suggesting that winds up happening. I think it's an under 50-50 shot. But as long as that's the case, I'm moving Westbrook first. I'm not going to move the thing that makes my team special just for, spare parts. If someone blew me away, if Golden State made me an offer for the number 2 pick and this and that, and they could throw a player and the whole thing, and I would have to consider it. And you're going to get a much smaller haul, obviously, for Westbrook right now, given his contract and his perceived value. Nevertheless, I would move Westbrook first and hold on to Harden until the absolute last minute, when I absolutely had to trade him to try to get the most for him.
Well, first of all, I don't agree with you, but there's no surprise there, Max Kellerman. Of course I don't agree with you, but I will tell you this. Why the hell wouldn't you get something significant for a James Harden? I mean, the man, listen, he's owed $132.9 million over the next 3 years. Russell Westbrook is owed $132.6, all right? Both of them have an option, a player's option, after the next 2 seasons. We get all of that. But I think the question that needs to be asked, and first of all, I completely agree with Kendrick Perkins. He's right on the money. They got to blow the whole thing up now, because the reality is that if you're Houston and you've got a guy in Westbrook that wants out, let me tell you what Houston has been saying for months and stuff, and what they, without question, are saying now, Kendrick Perkins. Dwight Howard was there. Harden wanted him out. They lost in the playoffs a couple of years ago, or last year rather. Harden was at the press conference. He said, "We all know what the problem is." To the press, walked off the podium, went down to the office with Maury and everybody else, and said, "I want Chris, CP3 up out of here." Right now, Westbrook wants out. And if you're Harden, you got a situation where people are looking at you, right or wrongly, and they're saying, okay, are you a problem? Now, we know you average a minimum of 29 over the last 4 years. We know that over the last 3, you averaged 32 plus, and you're just unstoppable offensively. You're a magician on the offensive side of the ball. But if you've got teammates either you don't want to play with or don't want to play with you, and there's no championship to show for all the effort and all the money, eventually the organization is going to look at you too. But it doesn't mean they're going to be stupid and lose him for nothing. So now, here's where it gets tricky. When we bring up Brooklyn, because KP brought up Brooklyn at the top of the show. Well, you got Spencer Dinwiddie, you got Karis LeVert, you've got picks, you got all of those things that Brooklyn could offer, and Lord knows what else. You know what else? Houston wouldn't want to hear this. A lot of people wouldn't want to hear this, especially Houston, because if you're Tillman Fertitta and the Houston Rockets, why would you want to help Daryl Morey, who just left you? But he is the president of basketball operations in Philadelphia. They do have somebody by the name of Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid. You're talking about somebody like a Ben Simmons, in my estimation, along with additional players, potentially picks as well, to pair Harden with Embiid, because you stuck with Al Horford, okay, and basically with Tobias Harris. I don't think you stuck, because I think Tobias Harris would do well with the right teammates. At the end of the day, those are just two, and there's going to be a slew of other offers. But if I'm Houston, Max, I know I can get significantly more for Harden. I'm not saying that Russell Westbrook is not going. KP's right. He's going. Russell Westbrook ain't making that decision and then going to retract. That's not how he's built. If he told it, if he said so to them, and he said it publicly, he wants out. He out. He's out. So you're going to move him. But the first order of business, in my estimation, if you can get the farm for James Harden, you do it. You do it, because you don't know what additional assets you're going to get for Harden that will enable you to also unload Russell Westbrook for some additional assets. That's how you play that game, in my estimation.
Well, I disagree about the order in which you trade them. I think you get rid of Westbrook first, and you hold on to Harden until you absolutely have to let him go. That said, you're right. It's almost impossible to get equal value for Harden. Ben Simmons? Ben Simmons, now you're talking.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.